I'm Liz Brown Swanson, bringing you special coverage of the South Bay City's Council of Governments 25th Annual General Assembly being held right here at the Carson Events Center. Now, this organization, best known as the South Bay COG, is celebrating 30 years of serving our community, including 16 South Bay cities and Rancho, Palos, Verdes, LA County, all with the vision and mission of improving the quality of life, the economy, productivity, the environment. So let's step inside and meet with our local leaders and residents, all here to celebrate the South Bay COG's legacy and its vision for tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Jacki, Bacharach, and I'm the Executive Director of the South Bay City's Council of Governments. We're here today at the 25th Annual General Assembly for the South Bay City's Council of Governments, and it's our 30th anniversary as an organization. So it's a celebration and a conference filled with information about what we've done in the past and celebrating our accomplishments, as well as looking at the future and how we can prepare our cities so that they can enter the next 30 years as prosperously as we have done the last. We have exhibits this morning from a lot of different vendors and organizations throughout the South Bay, including our cities, and then we're going to have speeches from some of our resources that we use. Somebody's going to talk about micromobility, somebody's going to talk about our fiber network, and we're going to talk about other accomplishments that we've had, including energy efficiency and sustainability. Then we're going to show people a city simulator, how we can plan for the future and look at what cities will be like in 30 years and beyond. As an organization, we've been able to have incredible collaboration from our cities in order to add value to what they're doing. We've been able to have a homeless program which has really lowered homelessness in the South Bay and continues to work with each city. We've had sustainability programs where we've saved our cities numerous kilowatt hours and a lot of savings in water, because we've been able to get grants to help them. We actually leverage our dues that cities pay by 8 times with the amount of grants that we get. And I'm going to be talking later today about some of the incredible accomplishments that we've had over the 30 years that we're really proud of in protecting things like the 310 area code. It was the Council of Governments that protected that for the South Bay. It was the Council of Governments that helped get us a seat on the Air Quality Management District Board. We were able to build a fiber network with transportation funds, and no one had ever done that before. And now everyone in Los Angeles County can do that because we opened that door. We've opened a lot of doors over the 30 years, and we're very proud of the fact that we look forward, we never look back, and we always help break down silos so that we can work across disciplines and get the best for our cities.
Hi, I'm Brandy Forbes. I'm the Director of Community Development for the City of Rancho, Palos Verdes. I'm here today at the South Bay City's Council of Governments General Assembly, and it's their 25th year of having the General Assembly, which is very exciting. They're going to be showcasing a lot of the different programs that they've done over the years. They have an e-bike demonstration right now talking about the slow network of the streets, where it's the turtle network, as they call it, where it's really using those vehicles that are more energy efficient or better for the environment and utilizing them in the local trips that you take from day to day. So I'm very excited today to learn about some of the upcoming ideas and programs that they're looking to do at the South Bay City's Council of Governments.
It's always an honor to be with former Supervisor Knabe. It's great to have you here at the General Assembly. You're a keynote speaker. Talk a little bit about your messaging about the good work this organization has done over the years.
Well, I'm just happy to be here to celebrate 25 years. I can't believe it's 25 years. I was there in the very beginning, and it was one of the first organizations. I used it so many times over the years in my speeches as it relates to economic development and working together. And people finally realized in cities and city government that it doesn't stop at Rosecrans and Sepulveda. You know, you cross the borders. You may have the physical facility in your city, but you have workers, you have shopping, food, restaurants, whatever it may be. And this thing came together, and of course it was always a surprise for everybody because it originally started to save the Air Force Base. The Air Force Base with no runway, and nobody can understand that. And then Aerospace Corporation and things like that. So it really had an impact, and I mean, these whoever's here today and new blood and new elected officials don't realize how this happened, but what an impact it had over the years. It's made our trips to Washington or Sacramento even more important because you were representing a group. You weren't representing a city or one individual. You were representing the region. And the economic impact of the issues that we were trying to save when they started this were incredible.
Good afternoon. My name is Catherine Jun. I'm the Deputy City Manager for the City of Rancho Palos Verdes, and I'm excited to come out here today and help celebrate the COG's 30th anniversary and get an opportunity to meet other thought leaders here and understand what the issues are in the South Bay. Well, the COG has been an amazing partner over the years. Whenever we have an issue that we can receive some support and some guidance and advice on, we often turn to the COG and ask them, what are other cities doing? Are there other solutions out there that we can apply it to our city? In the beginning, our city council had asked, what can the city do to regulate e-bike use and make it safer for both the riders and the community as well. And so what we did first was reach out to the COG and see, what is the regional approach that is recommended for e-bike use. So what we did was, work with them, get their advice, but we also involved the Youth Advisory Committee. The committee has helped provide their input on the COG's recommendations on e-bike usage, and that ultimately led to the development of an e-bike ordinance that's in place right now in the city.
It's great to be joined by a member of RPV's Youth Advisory Committee, known as the YAC. Talk about the YAC and the fact that you've come today to this assembly to learn more about local government.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a great time here, and we're gonna learn a lot about a bunch of different issues that are happening in the local government. So with e-bike safety, with traveling, and we'll also be talking to some mayors and some city officials. I'm so excited to be here. I'm gonna learn a lot, and yeah, thank you.
You mentioned e-bikes. The Youth Advisory Committee is very active in helping set policy in the city of RPV regulations. What do you want residents to know in our city about the future of using e-bikes in Rancho Palos Verdes?
Yeah, I think that, parents and kids, they have to be very aware when they use their e-bikes, and they also have to buy all the gear, right? They have to listen. We recently just passed ordinances for e-bike safety in the city of Rancho Palos Verdes. Follow those ordinances, make sure to be up to date on them, but also wear a helmet. Wear a helmet. That's the bottom line. You have to wear a helmet.
Do I see a future elected leader here? Talk about your passion for local government and what's motivated you to join the YAC.
Yeah, well, I've always had the dream of one day becoming president, like everybody. So, I'd like to run for mayor when I'm 18 years old, and you can. And I'd love to do it, and I'm so excited to be here today.
My name is Adrian. I work for Wambi. We are an e-bike subscription company. Recently, we have just entered the South Bay area as a new zone for our service. Our head office in America is actually in Culver City, so not too far away. And we offer something a little bit different. Our e-bikes are available on a month-to-month subscription. So we find a lot of people are very e-bike curious. They're not ready to go out and invest and spend money on a bike. So we're a very flexible company where you can try a bike, whether it's 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, a year. We also have flexible subscriptions. So you might start with one bike, but then change your bike, as our bikes are modular. So some people might just want to bike to the beach, have fun. Some people might have kids. They want to bring the kids to school. Some people might have a pet. So we try to use our cars less, and in South Bay 70% of trips in cars are 2 miles or less. So we find a lot of families with 2 cars can get by with 1 car and use a bike for their micro trips. So we are expanding our services in South Bay, including Palos Verdes. Obviously, Palos Verdes has hilly terrain. Our bikes are well capable to go up a hill, but also you might want to pick up some groceries at the store, and you might only live a mile from the store. So the bike is a perfect solution versus getting in your car. So that's what we're trying to get the message across. This is a very easy way to get those done.
It's great to be with former RPV Mayor Jim Knight. You've been to many of these assemblies. Your thoughts on the organization and the role they play?
First, I want to congratulate the organization on 30 years of excellent service for the South Bay area. It's an organization that helps all the cities of the South Bay coordinate together. They can exchange information about what cities are, what they're doing, and they can also work as a collective to try and get programs from the state to try and help out with the local communities. I've worked with them mainly in the environmental section, but it's a great organization that helps the local residents of all the cities here. Well, one program I put together for the city of Rancho Palos Verdes was a green building program. And I was struggling to get all the cities to get together to have one green building program. And then Jacki, Bacharach, came together and said, you know what? Let's get all these cities together and have one application you can put together for a building project that's a green building project. And she coordinated it all, and it led to a whole series of meetings with cities to share what green programs we're putting together, and it became a nucleus. It became a impetus for cities coordinating all of their environmentally friendly programs.
As we're mentioning, this will be the 25th assembly, but 30 years for the organization. When you walk inside, what are you looking forward to when you come to an event like this?
Well, I want to see what the interests of the local cities are, what struggles they have, what their future they're looking to down the road. Do they have plans for certain directions they want the cities to go in? I mean, I studied urban planning at USC, and it's very interesting how these cities visualize their own future and how they can actually implement a change to the city that benefits all the residents.
Hi, my name is Colleen Farrell. I'm the Senior Project Manager of Communications for the South Bay Cities Council of Governments. And I started during the pandemic in 2020. I'm the first person in this role doing communications. And it's my job to amplify all the good work that the COG is doing. I heard someone say recently that we were one of the best kept secrets in the South Bay. It's my intention to make it a more known secret of the South Bay. So one of the projects that I worked on for this event was a look back, and I had the opportunity to interview many of our board chairs and put those together in a series of decades. And what I'm going to share with you is the last decade that features John Cruikshank. He is the former mayor of Rancho Palos Verdes.
We started to build foundational steps for how can the COG really be a conduit towards solving some of these, sub-regional and or regional issues. Homelessness, transportation, technology. The South Bay Fiber Network was an idea to not only connect all the South Bay cities, including the county, with a strand of fiber.
3, 2, 1, hit it.
I'm very proud to announce today that the South Bay Fiber Network, the core ring that will support the entire region, is now complete.
In partnership with the COG and our 15 cities, it was put into service so that our cities would have access to high-speed internet service, with the plan to eventually expand that service throughout the cities into the communities.
We were looking at it from the perspective of how can we set cities up for success for the 21st century in terms of connectivity and being able to utilize connections throughout the city for public works, for transportation, even for their own IT or ability just to function as a government. We went to Metro, we convinced them of the transportation nexus, and were able to get the funding out of Measure M, which was to the tune of I think like $6.6 million.
It has been expanded into 40 different agencies. So I am most proud of the South Bay Fiber Network and the way it has grown.
My adult life has crossed several states and multiple instances of homelessness.
The COG recognized Measure H was in the process of coming to the public as a voting measure, right, for a 1/4-cent sales tax. So how do we collaboratively utilize the county to make sure that the funding is coming through this measure back to the cities? What Jacki recognized was that if one city was doing it or other cities were doing it without really speaking to each other, that nobody's going to have true success. And the evolution of the COG being a part of homelessness, I think, just happened organically. It was just kind of recognizing the need, having conversations about it, but then it grew to the point where the COG actually ended up hiring individuals to focus solely on that. And now they really are a secondary conduit for the cities receiving direct funding from the county. We were able to utilize the COG to take it to the next level and make sure that a city like Redondo Beach could hit functional zero.
Redondo Beach recently celebrated becoming the first city in the South Bay to reach functional zero street homelessness.
The goal for functional zero is to get people off the street within 90 days of their homelessness experience, and Redondo Beach can now get people off the streets within 14 days.
Redondo Beach was chosen by the South Bay City's Council of Governments to develop ways to reduce homelessness regionally, but the work will also serve as a blueprint others can follow.
We're here in downtown El Segundo for a groundbreaking event that's going to make local travel much easier and more efficient for the entire South Bay.
The local travel network is a concept that didn't just start overnight.
As the South Bay COG chair, one of the first things that we did was the low-speed travel network in the city of El Segundo. Very happy to see it come to fruition in the city of El Segundo and actually riding in some of the low-speed vehicles.
It's a perfect example of how the COG listens to the 16 city members and the 2 county members and actually starts to develop solutions. So the local travel network, to me, is an innovative way to start to reduce traffic congestion and to reduce pollution. Even most trips are pretty close. You don't need a full, large vehicle to go from your home to the grocery store.
I love our little turtle, and our city now is engaging with Jacki and the committee on this to try to get this in Gardena. I'm really excited about our environmental impact. I was really proud that the city of Gardena was able to host the South Bay Climate and Energy Award luncheon, of which we were one of the gold recipients. And again, we're going to work on platinum this year. The challenge has been put out to other cities, and I think it'd be a fun one this year.
We are doing so much at the COG level.
To some degree, it's a best kept secret, and it should not be a secret. It should be something that is celebrated and shouted and let people know that South Bay COG is here in the South Bay area.
Happy birthday, South Bay Cities COG.
Happy 30th birthday, South Bay City COG.
I'm proud of this organization. I'm proud to be the chair, and I just look forward to our future.
For more information on the South Bay Cities Council of Governments, you can log on to southbaycities.org. I'm Liz Brown Swanson with RPVtv. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.